We understand the Therapeutic Goods Administration is now seeking further tests. We know there have been links with 2 other doses of blood clotting, or 2 other cases of blood clotting. There were, though, or are those 700,000 vaccines which have been rolled out with the AstraZeneca jab. This woman was a 48-year-old woman from the Central Coast of New South Wales. She received her vaccine at a local GP. She did, though, have underlying health conditions. She was diabetic. Dr. Chris Moy from the Australian Medical Association, though, makes the point that blood clotting is very common, and we need to have a calm mindset here as the experts investigate.
On a normal day, at least 50 bad blood clots occur in Australia every single day. So, with somebody who maybe has a pre-existing illness, it's just as likely that that is the cause rather than any association with the vaccine. And the reason why we need to do this is we need to stay calm, because otherwise we're going to be misattributing the causation to the vaccine, which can have a material effect on vaccine hesitancy, which is already, heightened because of the level of anxiety out there at the moment.
Yeah, for understandable reasons, Tom. The great concern here is stories and cases like this damage the reputation of the vaccine rollout. People only hear and see the initial headlines. They don't see the follow-up information which comes from the health professionals about the level of risk and perhaps the causation. The Prime Minister and also Gladys Berejiklian, the New South Wales Premier, making the point this morning that being transparent with the information, and it's now up to the health authorities to do what they do best.
Because of the fact that people can have concerns, that we follow that important process to inform ourselves properly, to allow those medical experts to make their inquiries and to be able to inform government in an appropriate way. We've been very transparent when it comes to information on these issues, and people can expect us to do that.
People should make sure they seek medical attention if they have another condition, but otherwise, I've had it, others have had it, and it's a very small chance that anything will be adverse.
Jonathan, a couple of things to factor in, of course, as part of next month's federal budget. Well, the better than expected jobs figures, but the worse than expected rollout.
Yeah, we kind of feel as if the budget snuck up on us in some respects, I suppose, Tom. But yeah, last year's budget was underpinned by an assumption the vaccine rollout would have been largely done. We have, though, received some very good jobs news in the past 48 hours also. So the budget perhaps in a better condition than some would have expected in other ways. And there's also, as you alluded to earlier, perhaps an expectation of more investment in a sovereign capability for pharmaceutical companies here in Australia. So a lot of pressure building on the government for this upcoming budget. Simon Birmingham was on the program early this morning. Here's what he had to say.
Questions around borders opening, questions around vaccines, risks around shutdowns and so on.
We'll actually see in the budget papers the vaccine rollout and how that impacts on the purse strings. Is that correct?
No, the assumptions are things that underpin the way Treasury does their modelling and so on. So it's not a case that we make predictions in the budget for those sorts of external factors.
But will Treasury be looking at the vaccine rollout?
Well, Treasury ordinarily, in terms of the way they project for the future, look at all of the different external factors that are there.
Yeah, as we all start to line up for our first jab, Tom, the Pfizer boss has actually suggested that there might be need for a third dose, a booster shot, as the virus continues to morph and change.
A likely scenario is that there will be likely a need for a third dose somewhere between 6 and 12 months. And then from there will be an annual revaccination. But all of that needs to be confirmed. And again, the variants will play a key role.
Yeah, the hope, Tom, is that we can one day treat COVID-19 as a form of flu. Obviously, we'll never eradicate it. I suppose the question becomes, are we willing to accept it in our society? And will the borders open, and will we be happy to get back on with our daily lives? There's a lot of questions still to be answered and a very big budget coming our way.